Alrighty, so yesterday we covered a little bit of the arithmetic series. So remember, arithmetic sequence is like a set of numbers. You'll see 4, 5, 6 numbers in a row. That's the sequence. A series is when you add up all those numbers together. Okay, so our nth term is like when we're finding a certain number in like the rows, like we talked about before. So this is going to be our formula really when we looking for our sequences, and the sum of the sequences is our series. So both of these two equations right there are going to be working for our series. Just a reminder, arithmetic sequence will tell you the number of seats in the nth row. So let's say there's 36 rows in an auditorium. You want to know what row, how many seats are in the 36th row. You're going to, that would tell you how many are in the 36th row. Arithmetic series would be adding up row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, 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 until you get up to 36. And that's every single row added up. So essentially that could be, you need to add up all of them to every single person's going to get a prize or whatever. You need to make sure you add up every single row together. Okay. So I brought that equation back to the top. So say we're given a problem where our first term is 25, our nth term is 105, and our n is equal to 9. So we need to figure out which equation we're going to use. So we have a of 1, okay? We have our n. We also have a of n. So this one has a of n, this one does not. So we're not using this equation. We're going to be using this one on the left. So all I'm going to do is just plug and chug my information. So s of n, and then my n is 9, so 9 over 2. And then 25 plus 105. 25 plus 105, that's going to give me 130. Put that in my calculator. So 9 divided by 2 times 130 is going to give me 585. So in those 9 rows, the first row has 25 people, the last row has 105. If you added up all 9 rows, you're going to get 585. And that would be your answer. Okay, let's take a look at another one. So let's say I had the first term 37. My D is 10, and my N is 30. I'm going to erase this up here so we can see the formulas again. So the only one that has D is going to be this one right here. So we're going to be using this formula right here. So actually, let me rewrite these formulas next to which ones we actually did. Okay. So now we're basically just put in the information we know. So A of 1 is 37. D is 10, N is 30. So I'm going to replace my N with 30. A of 1 is 37, so it'll be 2 times 37 plus 30 minus 1 times our D, which is 10. So we want to keep track of our brackets, kind of keep it separate than everything else. So we have, well, it's all inside this parentheses first. So $29 times 10. So I'm going to solve both those multiplication problems at the same time in there. 2 times 37 is going to give me 74. And then 29 times 10 is 290. Since they're in the parentheses, I'll add them together. I get 364. And then 30 divided by 2 is 15. times 15 gives us 5,460. And that would be your final answer. So it really depends on which what you get for your information is going to be what you're going to use for which formula. Oop, that's not what I wanted. I thought I had the image copied. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Okay, that's what I thought I was going to do. Okay. So I'm going to give myself 2 problems here. I'm going to kind of work by them side by side to give myself the most amount of space. Okay. So let's say for this one we have A1 equals 27, D is equal to 8, N is equal to 25. And this one, we're going to have A1 is equal to 33, AN is equal to 73, N is equal to 5. Okay, so let's say for this first one, I see that it has A1, D, and N is equal to 25. This is the only one with D, so it's going to be this equation right here. So I'm going to rewrite S of N is equal to N over 2, which is 25 over 2. 2 times the first term plus 25 minus 1. I'm just going to go ahead and write 24 just for sake of time, times 8. So the way I got the 24 is that n minus 1 is 25 minus 1. Okay, so now I'm going to do my multiplication. 2 times 27 gives me 54. And 24 times 8, 24 times 8 gives us 192. Okay, and 192 plus 54 gives us 246. And then now we're going to have 25 divided by 2. Multiply that by 246. That gives us 3,075. And that would be your final answer. So let's take a look at this one. So this one has A of N, and only one of these has A and N, so we're going to be using this formula over here. So we have S of N is equal to N over 2. Our N is 5. And our A1 is 33. Our AN is 73. Five over 2, solve in the parentheses. 33 plus 73 gives me 106. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5 times that 106 gives me 265. And that's going to be your final answer.